In life, there are moments that shake us to our core, times when it feels like everything we know is falling apart. The weight of hardship can feel unbearable, leaving us questioning our strength, our purpose, and whether we have the will to keep going. But deep within every person lies a source of resilience that is often untapped, waiting for the right moment to be awakened. This inner strength is not something reserved for the few. It exists in each and every one of us, waiting to be drawn upon when the challenges of life seem impossible to overcome. It's natural to feel overwhelmed when adversity strikes. Many of us have felt the sting of failure, loss, or disappointment. These are the moments that test us, that make us wonder if we have what it takes to rise above. But what if I told you that the key to enduring any hardship is already inside you? The power to stay strong, to face life's most difficult moments with courage and calm, is something you can cultivate. It's not about being born with unshakable resilience, but about learning how to harness it, how to build it within yourself, so that nothing, not even the hardest of life's trials, can break you. There's a powerful philosophy that has guided some of history's greatest minds through unimaginable struggles. It's a philosophy that teaches us to focus not on what happens to us, but on how we respond. It reminds us that while we cannot control the world around us, we always have control over our own actions, our own thoughts, and our own reactions. This philosophy has helped warriors, emperors, and thinkers remain calm in the face of chaos, and it can do the same for you. Think about a time when life seemed unfair. Perhaps you faced a challenge so big you thought you might never recover. In those moments, it can feel like the ground beneath you is giving way, like nothing makes sense anymore. Yet, here you are. You survived. You may have scars, but you're still standing, and that is proof of the strength you already have. It's easy to forget how resilient we are when we're in the middle of a storm, but the fact that you've weathered hardships in the past is a testament to the power within you. Strength isn't always about brute force. It's about endurance. It's about the quiet determination to keep going when everything around you is telling you to give up. Life is unpredictable. There will be good days and bad days, victories and defeats. But strength is found not in avoiding the bad days, but in facing them with grace, knowing that they too shall pass. It's about standing tall when life tries to knock you down, knowing that no matter how hard the hit, you have the ability to rise again. There's a certain peace that comes from accepting that life will never be easy, that setbacks are inevitable, that disappointment is part of the journey. Once you come to terms with this reality, a shift happens. You stop fearing the future because you know that no matter what comes your way, you have the tools to deal with it. You stop trying to control everything around you and focus instead on what you can control: your mindset, your attitude, your actions. Every person faces adversity. It may come in different forms, but no one is immune to it. The difference between those who are broken by life and those who thrive in the face of hardship is not luck, nor is it talent. It's mindset. Those who thrive understand that life's difficulties are not obstacles, but opportunities. Opportunities to grow, to learn, to become stronger than they were before. Each challenge is a stepping stone to greater resilience, each setback a lesson in perseverance. Think about the strongest people you know. They didn't get that way by living an easy life. Their strength was forged in the fires of adversity. They faced struggles, failures, and losses, and yet they kept moving forward. What makes them different is not that they were spared from pain, but that they learned how to embrace it, how to use it to fuel their growth. You have that same capacity within you, the potential to turn hardship into strength, to use every challenge as a building block for a more resilient life. In a world where so much is beyond our control, the one thing we can always count on is our own ability to persevere. It doesn't mean the journey will be easy, nor does it mean you won't experience pain or hardship along the way. But it does mean that you have the power to face those difficulties head-on, to stand tall in the face of adversity, and to refuse to be broken by it. Strength isn't about never falling, it's about rising each time you do. There will always be challenges that seem insurmountable, moments when the weight of the world feels too heavy to bear. But in those moments, remember this: you are not defined by the challenges you face, but by how you face them. Each time life tries to knock you down, you have the choice to stand back up. Each time you do, you become a little stronger, a little more resilient, a little more unshakable. It's easy to look at others who seem to handle life's challenges with ease and wonder how they do it. But the truth is, strength is not something you're born with, it's something you build. Every time you choose to keep going, every time you face a challenge with courage, you are building that strength within yourself. It may not feel like it in the moment, but each hardship is an opportunity to grow, to become stronger than you were before. There is a quiet power in knowing that nothing can break you. Life may throw curveballs, obstacles may arise, but with the right mindset, with the right tools, you can weather any storm. You can stand tall in the face of adversity and say, "This will not break me." That is the essence of true strength, not in avoiding life's challenges, but in facing them head-on, knowing that you have the power to endure. It's time to stop seeing life's hardships as something to fear. Instead, see them as opportunities to grow, to build resilience, to strengthen your resolve. Each challenge is a chance to prove to yourself that you are stronger than you think. Each setback is a lesson in perseverance, and each time you rise, you reinforce the truth that nothing, no matter how difficult, can break you. So, as you continue on your journey, remember that the power to stay strong, to face life's challenges with courage and calm, is within you. You are more resilient than you know, stronger than you realize, and with each challenge you overcome, you build an unshakable foundation that nothing, no hardship, no failure, no adversity, can ever break. Life has a way of testing us in ways we never expect. It throws challenges our way that can feel overwhelming, as if the very ground beneath us is crumbling. In these moments, it's natural to feel vulnerable, even powerless. But what if I told you that these challenges are the very things that can make you unbreakable? Every difficulty you face has the potential to build within you an unshakable resilience, a strength that cannot be destroyed by any adversity. This is the essence of Stoicism. It teaches us that true power comes not from controlling the world around us, but from mastering the strength within. Today, let's explore the Stoic techniques that build this inner strength, layer by layer, so you can face life with calm, courage, and an unshakable will. Resilience isn't something that is built in a day. It's a mindset cultivated over time through intentional practice and daily reflection. The Stoics believed that resilience is the ability to remain steady no matter what storm is raging around you. And the key to this strength lies in how you respond to the world, how you process emotions, and how you choose to grow from every challenge. One of the core principles that strengthens resilience is understanding what you can and cannot control. This idea is foundational in Stoicism and serves as a guiding light in times of adversity. We often spend our energy trying to change things that are beyond our reach, other people's opinions, external events, the past. But this only leads to frustration and disappointment. When you focus on what you can control, like your thoughts, actions, and reactions, you shift your energy to something productive. You become empowered because you're no longer wasting energy on things that cannot be changed. Think about it. There's no way to control the behavior of others or predict every outcome in life. Trying to do so only leaves you feeling helpless when things don't go as planned. But when you accept that the only thing you truly control is yourself, your thoughts, your decisions, your attitude, it becomes much easier to navigate difficulties. You stop being reactive and start being proactive. This shift in focus frees you from the weight of unnecessary worry and helps you build resilience because you are no longer tied to the outcome, only to your effort and your response. Another powerful Stoic technique for building resilience is reframing challenges. Instead of seeing obstacles as something negative, the Stoics viewed them as opportunities for growth. This shift in perspective is transformative because it allows you to see adversity in a new light. When you face hardship, it's natural to feel defeated, to think that life is against you. But the Stoic approach teaches you to view these moments as stepping stones to greater strength. Every challenge becomes a lesson, every setback an opportunity to sharpen your skills and deepen your resilience. Think about how empowering it is to know that even your most difficult moments can be turned into something meaningful. When you face a problem with the mindset that this too is helping you grow, you become unstoppable. This doesn't mean that challenges become easy, but it does mean that you no longer fear them. Instead, you embrace them, knowing that they are shaping you into someone stronger, someone more resilient. In order to truly cultivate resilience, self-discipline plays a crucial role. Stoicism teaches that discipline is not about strict control over yourself, but about having the ability to act in accordance with your values and principles, even when it's hard. It's about making choices that align with the person you want to become, regardless of how difficult or uncomfortable those choices may be. This discipline is what keeps you steady in the face of adversity. It's what prevents you from being swept away by emotions or external circumstances. Consider how often we are tempted to take the easy route when things get tough. It's easier to give in to fear, frustration, or anger than it is to remain calm and focused. But every time you choose discipline over ease, you are strengthening your resilience. You are training yourself to remain composed, to think clearly, and to act with intention. This kind of discipline doesn't just apply to major life challenges. It's something you can practice every day in the small moments. Whether it's sticking to a routine, managing your emotions, or choosing not to react impulsively, each moment of discipline builds your inner strength. A vital component of building resilience is learning to embrace discomfort. Stoicism doesn't shy away from the fact that life is filled with discomfort, whether it's physical pain, emotional distress, or uncertainty about the future. Instead of avoiding these experiences, Stoics encouraged leaning into them, understanding that discomfort is often the gateway to growth. When you learn to sit with discomfort instead of running from it, you begin to realize that it's not as unbearable as you once thought. In fact, it's in those moments of discomfort that you find your greatest strength. The more you practice facing discomfort head-on, the less intimidating it becomes. Over time, you develop a kind of mental toughness that allows you to weather any storm without being overwhelmed. This isn't about denying your feelings or pretending everything is okay. It's about recognizing that discomfort is part of the process of becoming stronger, more resilient. This process of becoming resilient also involves cultivating a deep sense of self-awareness. You cannot build strength without first understanding yourself, your triggers, your fears, your weaknesses. Stoicism encourages reflection as a tool for growth. By taking time to reflect on your thoughts, actions, and reactions, you gain insight into the patterns that hold you back. You become more attuned to the ways in which you sabotage your own resilience, and with that awareness comes the power to change. Self-awareness allows you to see how often you react to situations rather than respond with intention. It highlights the areas where you need to grow and the habits that no longer serve you. The Stoics believed that self-reflection is key to living a virtuous life, one where you are in control of yourself, not controlled by the world around you. By practicing regular reflection, you become better equipped to handle life's challenges because you understand your own mind and emotions on a deeper level. You start to catch yourself before you fall into old patterns, and that is where real growth happens. Building resilience isn't just about withstanding life's challenges. It's also about developing the mindset that allows you to thrive despite them. It's about finding peace in the midst of chaos, not by avoiding it, but by facing it head-on with the confidence that you have the strength to endure. It's about understanding that you are not defined by the difficulties you face, but by how you choose to respond to them. Every challenge is an opportunity to build resilience, to strengthen your mind, and to become more unbreakable in the process. As you continue to cultivate resilience through these Stoic techniques, you'll find that you are no longer swayed by the ups and downs of life in the same way. You'll begin to approach challenges with a calm confidence, knowing that whatever comes your way, you have the inner strength to handle it. This is the power of Stoicism. It teaches you that nothing external can truly harm you because your strength comes from within. The journey to building unshakable resilience is not an easy one, but it is one of the most rewarding. It requires daily practice, reflection, and a commitment to growth. But as you develop this strength within yourself, you'll find that life's challenges no longer seem as daunting. You'll face them with a steady mind and an open heart, knowing that each obstacle is another opportunity to build the inner fortitude that makes you truly unbreakable. So, when life presents its next test, take a deep breath. Remember that you have the tools, the strength, and the resilience to face it. And as you continue to walk this path, you'll discover that nothing, not adversity, not hardship, not failure, has the power to break you. The strength you've been cultivating isn't just about enduring hardship. It's about mastering yourself in every situation life throws at you. Building resilience is only part of the journey. Controlling your emotions in the heat of the moment is the next step toward unshakable strength. When life pressures you, when the world feels chaotic, staying calm is an art few have mastered. Stoicism holds the keys to this mastery, teaching us how to remain composed when everything around us begs for an emotional reaction. Emotions are powerful forces, capable of shaping our reality in an instant. We often think that feeling deeply is the problem, but Stoicism teaches otherwise. Emotions themselves aren't the issue. It's our unchecked reactions to them. It's easy to get swept up in anger, fear, or frustration, allowing these feelings to dictate our behavior. But what if we could face these emotions head-on without letting them control us? Stoic philosophy doesn't advocate for ignoring or suppressing emotions. Instead, it offers a way to understand and manage them so that in moments of pressure, you maintain your clarity and purpose. One of the key lessons from Stoicism is that emotional control begins with self-awareness. You cannot master what you don't recognize. When you start paying attention to your emotions as they arise, you gain power over them. Often we react automatically without pausing to understand what we're feeling and why. That's when emotions take control, leading us to say or do things we later regret. But if you train yourself to pause, even for just a moment, before reacting, you give yourself the space to choose your response. In that space, you reclaim your power. The Stoics believed that emotions stem from judgments. It's not the events themselves that cause us distress, but the way we interpret them. Think about that. Two people could experience the exact same situation, say, losing a job. Yet one person may spiral into despair, while the other sees it as an opportunity for growth. The difference lies in their interpretation. Stoicism teaches that by reframing your judgments, you can shift your emotional responses. This doesn't mean denying reality or pretending everything is fine when it's not. It means choosing to see challenges as neutral events and deciding how to respond to them with wisdom and calm. For instance, anger often arises when we feel wronged or disrespected. In the heat of the moment, it's easy to lash out, letting the emotion drive our actions. But the Stoics remind us that anger is a choice, a reaction based on our interpretation of events. If you shift your perspective, if you ask yourself whether the anger serves any productive purpose or if it's merely clouding your judgment, you begin to loosen its grip. You start to see that the situation, however frustrating, doesn't have to control your emotions. Learning to separate yourself from the immediate rush of emotions is key to staying calm under pressure. The Stoics often spoke of maintaining an inner stillness, even when the world around you is chaotic. This isn't about shutting yourself off from feelings, but about cultivating a calm center that remains unaffected by external events. Picture a ship at sea. The waves may crash, the winds may howl, but as long as the ship's anchor is strong, it stays steady. Your mind is that ship, and Stoic wisdom provides the anchor. Another powerful technique in mastering emotional control is focusing on the present moment. Anxiety, frustration, and fear often stem from worrying about the future or dwelling on the past. The Stoics emphasize the importance of living in the now, understanding that the present is the only moment you have any real control over. When you focus your mind on what's happening right now, you strip away the emotional noise that comes from overthinking or anticipating what might go wrong. The present moment becomes a refuge from the emotional chaos that arises from trying to control what hasn't yet happened or can no longer be changed. There's also great power in accepting what you cannot change. Resistance to reality is one of the greatest sources of emotional distress. We often get caught in cycles of frustration, wishing things were different, wishing people would act a certain way, wishing we could avoid pain or loss. But Stoicism teaches that peace comes not from avoiding life's challenges, but from accepting them as they are. This doesn't mean you passively resign yourself to your circumstances, but rather that you stop wasting emotional energy on what cannot be controlled. Acceptance frees you from the emotional turmoil of resisting reality and allows you to focus on what can be done in the present moment. The Stoics also believed in the power of detachment. Emotional control is not about becoming cold or indifferent, but about maintaining a healthy distance from things that don't serve your inner peace. Too often, we become emotionally attached to outcomes, to other people's opinions, to our own expectations. When these attachments are threatened, we react with fear, anxiety, or anger. Detachment, as the Stoics practiced it, is about recognizing that your worth, your peace, your happiness don't depend on external circumstances. When you stop tying your emotions to things outside your control, you begin to experience a deeper sense of freedom and calm. But detachment doesn't mean isolation. Stoicism encourages connection with others, compassion, and empathy. What it teaches, however, is that while you care deeply, you don't allow your happiness to hinge on others' actions or approval. This is a crucial part of emotional control. You can love and care for others without being overwhelmed by fear or sadness if things don't go the way you hope. You can maintain your inner strength even in the face of loss, because you understand that your peace is found within, not in the ever-changing external world. Patience is another cornerstone of Stoic emotional control. In moments of stress, it's easy to feel that everything needs to be resolved immediately, but Stoicism teaches the value of patience, of taking a step back and allowing time to provide clarity. Acting impulsively out of emotion often leads to regret, but when you practice patience, you give yourself the space to think clearly and act wisely. This is especially important in moments of conflict, where a calm, measured response can prevent escalation and foster understanding. Cultivating emotional control also requires resilience in the face of discomfort. Emotions like fear, anger, and sadness are often uncomfortable, and our instinct is to avoid or suppress them. But Stoicism encourages you to sit with these emotions, to observe them without judgment, and to understand their root causes. By confronting your emotions rather than running from them, you develop a deeper sense of control. You begin to realize that while emotions may be intense, they are also temporary. They pass, and what remains is your ability to navigate through them with clarity and calm. Stoicism also teaches that emotional control is deeply connected to how we view ourselves. Much of the emotional turmoil we experience comes from ego, from feeling threatened, from the need to prove ourselves, from the fear of failure or rejection. The Stoics believed in letting go of ego, understanding that true strength comes not from the approval of others, but from inner peace and self-mastery. When you let go of the need to constantly defend or assert yourself, you free up emotional energy to focus on what truly matters. This shift in perspective allows you to approach life's challenges with humility, wisdom, and a calm mind. Through daily practice, you can cultivate the Stoic principles of emotional control. It's not about being perfect or never feeling emotion. It's about mastering the art of responding rather than reacting. Over time, you'll find that situations that once triggered intense emotional responses no longer have the same power over you. You'll face challenges with a calm mind and a steady heart, knowing that you have the strength to remain in control, no matter what life throws your way. This mastery of emotions is not something that comes overnight, but with consistent practice, reflection, and a deep commitment to self-growth, you will find yourself becoming more grounded, more centered, and more capable of handling life's pressures. This is the essence of emotional control in Stoicism, not suppressing your feelings, but managing them in a way that keeps you aligned with your values, your purpose, and your inner peace. As you continue to walk the Stoic path, remember that each moment of emotional pressure is an opportunity to practice. Each challenge is a chance to strengthen your ability to remain calm, to maintain your composure, and to respond with clarity and purpose. This is how you build true emotional control, the kind that keeps you steady even when life is anything but predictable. And with each step, you move closer to becoming the person who can face any situation with calm confidence, knowing that nothing outside yourself has the power to shake the peace you have built within. Mastering emotional control is an essential part of Stoicism, but it doesn't stand alone. Once you've learned to manage your reactions, the next step is to change how you see the world around you. Challenges will always arise, but how you perceive them can completely alter your experience. This shift in perspective is a core element of Stoic philosophy, and it's where true strength lies. By reframing how you view obstacles, you unlock the power to turn any difficulty into an opportunity for growth. The wisdom of Stoicism teaches us that it's not the situation itself that matters, but how we interpret it. The ability to reshape your mindset in the face of adversity is one of the most powerful tools you can develop. In life, events happen that are beyond our control. People might betray us, unexpected losses may strike, or plans may fall apart without warning. While these situations may feel overwhelming, Stoicism reminds us that these external events are neutral until we attach meaning to them. The emotional turmoil we experience often doesn't come from the event itself, but from how we choose to perceive it. This is the power of perspective. Once you recognize that your interpretation of a situation influences your emotional response, you gain the ability to reframe your challenges. When a setback occurs, The immediate reaction is often frustration or disappointment. This is natural, but what Stoicism teaches is that you have the power to choose how long that disappointment lasts. You can either dwell on the negative aspects, focusing on the perceived failure, or you can take a step back and ask what can be learned from the situation. Shifting your perspective in this way transforms the challenge into an opportunity for self-improvement. Instead of being something to avoid or fear, the difficulty becomes a tool for growth. Marcus Aurelius, one of the great Stoic philosophers, often reminded himself that life's obstacles are not inherently bad or good. They simply exist. He believed that the obstacle itself becomes the way forward. This Stoic principle is profound because it flips the concept of challenges on its head. Instead of seeing a problem as something that blocks your progress, it becomes the very thing that propels you forward. By viewing adversity in this way, you not only reduce the emotional burden, but also find purpose in your difficulties. For example, think about a time when something didn't go as planned. Maybe you missed out on an opportunity, or perhaps you encountered a failure that felt devastating at the moment. At first, it likely felt like the world was against you. But later, after some time and reflection, you may have realized that this setback led you to a new opportunity or taught you a valuable lesson that helped you in the future. This is the power of perspective at work. The event didn't change, but your understanding of it evolved. Instead of being stuck in the negativity of the moment, you saw the broader picture and reframed the situation to find value in it. One of the ways Stoicism encourages reframing challenges is by focusing on what you can control. When difficulties arise, the Stoics remind us to ask ourselves, what part of this situation is within my power? By directing your energy toward what you can influence, you regain a sense of control and reduce feelings of helplessness. This shift in focus not only helps you remain calm, but also clarifies your path forward. You stop wasting time and energy on things beyond your control and instead take proactive steps toward a solution. This perspective shift is especially powerful when dealing with personal challenges. For example, when faced with criticism or judgment from others, the initial reaction might be defensiveness or frustration. But if you pause and reflect on what's within your control, you'll see that other people's opinions are not something you can change. What you can control, however, is your reaction to those opinions. Instead of letting criticism harm your self-esteem, you can choose to see it as feedback, an opportunity to learn and improve. By reframing the situation, you remove the sting of the criticism and use it to your advantage. Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of accepting the impermanence of life. Everything in the world is in a state of constant change, from the seasons to personal circumstances. When you accept this reality, you become less attached to outcomes and more focused on adapting to the flow of life. This mindset allows you to view challenges not as permanent barriers, but as temporary events that are part of a larger, ever-changing process. This acceptance reduces the emotional weight of setbacks because you understand that nothing lasts forever, not the pain, not the struggle, and not the obstacles. Another critical aspect of reframing challenges is recognizing the role of gratitude. Stoic wisdom teaches us to focus on the positives, even in the most difficult situations. When you train your mind to appreciate what remains, rather than focusing on what has been lost, you shift your perspective away from lack and toward abundance. This doesn't mean ignoring difficulties or pretending everything is perfect. Instead, it's about balancing your view, acknowledging the hardship, but also recognizing the good that still exists in your life. For example, in moments of loss, whether it's the end of a relationship, the loss of a job, or even the death of a loved one, grief and pain are natural responses. But within that pain, there can also be space for gratitude. Gratitude for the time you shared, for the experiences you had, and for the lessons learned. By shifting your perspective in this way, you allow room for both grief and appreciation, which softens the emotional impact and helps you find peace even in difficult times. The Stoics also encouraged viewing life through the lens of service. When faced with challenges, one of the most empowering ways to reframe the situation is to ask how it can be used to benefit others. Shifting the focus from yourself to the wider community helps to put personal struggles into perspective. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by the weight of a problem, you start to see how overcoming it can serve a greater purpose. This mindset not only helps you manage your own emotions, but also motivates you to find meaning in adversity. Additionally, Stoicism teaches that much of the suffering we experience comes not from external events, but from our internal dialogue. How you talk to yourself in moments of hardship can either empower or disempower you. If your inner voice is filled with negativity, self-doubt, fear, or hopelessness, it reinforces the idea that the challenge is insurmountable. However, if you consciously choose to reframe your inner dialogue, focusing on your ability to grow, learn, and adapt, you transform the way you experience the challenge. Instead of being weighed down by the difficulty, you lift yourself up with affirming, constructive thoughts. This mental shift doesn't happen overnight. It requires practice and intentional effort to train your mind to consistently reframe situations. But over time, with daily application, you begin to notice a significant change in how you perceive challenges. What once seemed overwhelming now feels manageable. What once triggered fear or frustration now sparks curiosity and resilience. This is the true power of Stoic wisdom, the ability to transform your inner world so that external circumstances no longer dictate your happiness or peace. Stoic philosophers like Epictetus often spoke of the concept of playing your role. They believed that each person has a specific role to play in life, and that our challenges are part of that role. By accepting your role and the challenges that come with it, you stop seeing obstacles as personal attacks or random misfortunes. Instead, you start to view them as part of the larger journey you are meant to experience. This reframing gives your struggles meaning and purpose, which can drastically change how you approach them. When you see challenges as part of your unique path, you embrace them rather than resist them. Perspective also plays a crucial role in how you handle long-term adversity. When difficulties stretch on for extended periods, it's easy to become discouraged or feel trapped. In these moments, Stoicism teaches us to shift our focus from the end goal to the small daily actions that move us forward. By breaking down the challenge into manageable steps, you regain a sense of progress and purpose. Instead of feeling overwhelmed by the entire journey, you focus on each step, knowing that every small effort contributes to the overall goal. This shift in perspective helps prevent burnout and keeps you motivated, even when the road ahead seems long. Reframing challenges also requires a certain level of humility. The Stoics believed that much of our emotional suffering comes from ego, our desire to be in control, to be right, or to succeed at all costs. When things don't go our way, the ego feels threatened, and we experience frustration, anger, or disappointment. But when you approach life with humility, understanding that failure and setbacks are part of the human experience, you release the need for constant validation or success. This humility allows you to see challenges not as personal failures, but as opportunities for growth. It softens the emotional blow and makes room for learning. A key aspect of reframing challenges is embracing the idea that you don't have to do it alone. Stoicism teaches that we are all connected, and part of reframing difficulties involves seeking support and wisdom from others. When you're in the midst of a challenge, it's easy to feel isolated, as though you're the only one going through it. But the reality is that others have faced similar struggles, and their insights can provide valuable perspective. Whether it's through conversation, reading, or reflection, seeking out the experiences of others helps to broaden your understanding of your own situation. You realize that your challenge is not unique, and this shared human experience can provide comfort and strength. As you continue to cultivate the power of perspective, you'll begin to see that no challenge is insurmountable. It's not the situation that defines you, but how you choose to view it. The ability to reframe your difficulties gives you the freedom to turn even the darkest moments into sources of light. With this Stoic mindset, you move through life with greater ease, knowing that every challenge is an opportunity for growth, wisdom, and strength. The power of perspective doesn't just help you survive adversity, it helps you thrive, transforming each obstacle into a stepping stone on your path to resilience and inner peace. Reframing challenges through the power of perspective sets the foundation for something deeper, living a life focused on virtue. Once you've learned to see adversity as an opportunity for growth, the next step is to ground yourself in the Stoic idea that true strength comes from living a life of integrity, wisdom, and moral purpose. When you align your actions with these Stoic virtues, you become unbreakable, not because life gets easier, but because you become more centered in who you are and what you stand for. This inner compass, rooted in virtue, is what allows you to stand firm in the face of anything. Virtue, for the Stoics, was the ultimate goal. It wasn't about success in worldly terms, but about living in a way that was consistent with their highest values. Stoicism teaches that the only thing you truly have control over is your character, how you choose to act and respond to the world around you. External events may be unpredictable, but your commitment to virtue is what remains constant, acting as your true north. When you focus on living by Stoic principles, the ups and downs of life lose their power to shake you, because you're no longer defined by outcomes, but by how you conduct yourself through every situation. One of the central tenets of Stoicism is the pursuit of wisdom. Wisdom, in this context, is not just intellectual knowledge, but a deep understanding of what is right and just in any given moment. It's the ability to discern what truly matters and to act accordingly. By cultivating wisdom, you develop clarity and a strong sense of purpose. In moments of difficulty, wisdom guides you to make decisions that align with your values, rather than being swayed by temporary emotions or external pressures. This wisdom creates an unshakable foundation because it's rooted in timeless principles rather than fleeting desires or fears. Courage is another core virtue in Stoicism. It's the ability to face fear, uncertainty, and hardship without shrinking back. But Stoic courage isn't about bravado or recklessness. It's about acting in alignment with your values, even when it's difficult. Courage is required to stand firm in your beliefs, to speak the truth, and to do what is right, especially when there are easier, more tempting paths available. This kind of courage is quiet and steady, rooted in the confidence that no matter the outcome, acting with integrity is its own reward. Courage makes you unbreakable because it gives you the strength to move forward, regardless of the challenges that lie ahead. The virtue of justice is deeply tied to how you interact with others. Stoicism teaches that we are all connected and that living a virtuous life means treating others with fairness, respect, and compassion. Justice, in this sense, is not about the external legal systems, but about living with moral integrity in your relationships. When you commit to treating others justly, regardless of how they treat you, you create a sense of peace and balance in your life. You are no longer reactive to the actions of others, but instead grounded in your own principles. This focus on justice creates a life that is steady and resilient because it is not swayed by the changing behavior or opinions of others. Another essential virtue in Stoicism is temperance, or moderation. This is the ability to practice self-control and to avoid excess in all areas of life. Temperance teaches you to find balance, whether it's in your emotions, desires, or habits. By exercising restraint and discipline, you prevent yourself from being consumed by passions or impulses that can lead you astray. This creates a sense of stability and inner strength because you are no longer chasing after fleeting pleasures or indulging in behaviors that weaken your character. Instead, you remain focused on what truly matters, cultivating habits that reinforce your integrity and well-being. Living by Stoic virtues doesn't mean striving for perfection. The Stoics understood that humans are fallible and that failure is part of the journey. What makes someone truly unbreakable is not their ability to avoid mistakes, but their willingness to learn from them and continue pursuing a virtuous life. When you commit to the pursuit of virtue, you develop resilience because you understand that setbacks are temporary, but the lessons they offer are lasting. This mindset shifts your focus away from fear of failure and toward a dedication to growth and improvement. Each mistake becomes a stepping stone on the path to greater wisdom and strength. Focusing on virtue also means embracing responsibility. Stoicism teaches that you are responsible for your own actions, regardless of the circumstances. This is both empowering and challenging. It's empowering because it reminds you that no one else can dictate your behavior. You always have the choice to act with integrity. But it's also challenging because it means you can't blame others or external situations for your choices. Accepting this responsibility strengthens your character because it removes excuses and places the power of your life squarely in your hands. You become unbreakable because you are no longer dependent on others to determine your path. Your virtue, your actions, are entirely within your control. This focus on responsibility extends to how you approach your relationships and duties. Stoicism emphasizes the importance of fulfilling your role, whatever that may be, whether as a parent, a leader, a friend, or a member of society. Living with virtue means committing to excellence in each of these roles, not for external recognition, but because it is the right thing to do. When you act with this level of integrity, you build trust and respect with those around you, and you cultivate a deep sense of self-respect. This integrity creates a solid foundation that cannot be shaken by external events, because it is rooted in your commitment to living a life of purpose and meaning. The Stoic focus on virtue also helps you navigate the inevitable uncertainties of life. By grounding yourself in principles like wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance, you are better equipped to handle the unpredictable nature of the world. Life will throw challenges your way, losses, failures, betrayals. But when your identity is tied to your virtues rather than external outcomes, you become resilient in the face of adversity. You stop defining yourself by what happens to you and start defining yourself by how you choose to respond. This shift in focus makes you unbreakable because your sense of self is no longer tied to things that are outside your control. Living a life focused on virtue also cultivates a deep sense of peace. When you are aligned with your highest values, there is a quiet confidence that comes from knowing you are living authentically. You no longer feel the need to seek approval from others or chase after superficial successes. Instead, you find fulfillment in the pursuit of excellence, knowing that each day you are becoming a better version of yourself. This internal peace acts as a shield against the chaos of the external world. No matter what happens around you, you remain grounded in your principles, steady in your commitment to living a life of virtue. There is also a sense of freedom that comes from living by Stoic principles. When you focus on virtue, you free yourself from the constant pursuit of things that don't truly matter: status, wealth, or external validation. You realize that true happiness comes not from these external sources, but from living a life that is in harmony with your values. This freedom is powerful because it allows you to face life's challenges without fear or anxiety. You are no longer tied to outcomes or dependent on external circumstances for your sense of worth. This independence makes you unbreakable because you are rooted in something far deeper and more enduring than the temporary highs and lows of life. Stoicism also teaches that living by virtue means accepting the limitations of human life. The Stoics understood that we are all subject to forces beyond our control: fate, death, the passage of time. But rather than fearing these inevitable aspects of life, the Stoics embraced them as part of the natural order. By accepting these limitations, you free yourself from the fear of the unknown and the need to control everything. You learn to focus on what is within your power, your actions, your character, and let go of the rest. This acceptance of life's limitations, combined with a commitment to virtue, creates a sense of inner strength and peace that cannot be shaken by external forces. Living by virtue also requires humility. Stoicism teaches that no matter how much wisdom or strength you gain, there is always more to learn. Humility is essential because it keeps you open to growth and self-improvement. It reminds you that the pursuit of virtue is a lifelong journey, not a destination. By approaching life with humility, you remain flexible and adaptable, able to adjust to new challenges without being rigid or defensive. This humility, combined with a commitment to excellence, makes you unbreakable because it allows you to continuously evolve and grow, even in the face of adversity. As you cultivate a life focused on virtue, you'll begin to notice a shift in how you approach challenges. Instead of seeing difficulties as obstacles, you start to view them as opportunities to practice your values. Each challenge becomes a test of your wisdom, courage, justice, and temperance. And each time you respond with integrity, you strengthen your inner resolve. Over time, this practice makes you unbreakable, not because you never face hardship, but because you have built the internal strength to handle whatever comes your way. Focusing on virtue also deepens your relationships with others. When you commit to living a life of integrity, those around you notice. Your consistency and moral character create a sense of trust and respect that strengthens your connections. People are drawn to those who live by their principles, and by embodying Stoic virtues, you become a source of inspiration and stability for others. This not only enriches your own life, but also allows you to contribute positively to the world around you. Living by virtue creates ripples of goodness that extend far beyond your own personal growth. Ultimately, living by Stoic principles makes you unbreakable because it aligns you with something greater than yourself. It connects you to the timeless pursuit of wisdom, justice, courage, and temperance. These virtues have been practiced by countless individuals throughout history, from philosophers to leaders to everyday people who faced adversity with grace and strength. By focusing on virtue, you join this tradition of resilience and moral excellence, grounding yourself in a legacy that is far more enduring than any material success or temporary achievement. This commitment to virtue transforms your life from the inside out. It gives you the strength to face any challenge, the wisdom to make thoughtful decisions, the courage to act with integrity, and the peace that comes from living a life of purpose. It is this focus on virtue that makes you unbreakable, not because life's difficulties disappear, but because you have built an inner foundation that no external force can shake. Living a life focused on virtue strengthens the core of who you are. But to maintain that inner strength, you must learn to let go of the external influences that can weaken your resolve. This is where the practice of detachment comes in. Detachment, as taught by the Stoics, is not about withdrawing from the world or caring less. It's about freeing yourself from the things you cannot control and that often have the power to pull you away from your true path. It's a practice that builds resilience as it allows you to move through life with clarity and purpose, unaffected by the shifting tides of external circumstances. In a world that constantly tries to pull your attention in 1,000 directions, practicing detachment is like finding stillness in the middle of a storm. The demands of modern life, whether it's societal pressures, material pursuits, or the opinions of others, can easily cloud your judgment and weaken your commitment to living a virtuous life. The Stoics knew that by learning to detach from these external forces, you reclaim your power and protect your peace of mind. Detachment doesn't mean indifference. Rather, it means recognizing what is within your control and focusing your energy on that while letting go of everything else. One of the key ideas in Stoicism is the understanding that much of what happens in life is beyond your control. Other people's actions, events in the world, and even outcomes of your efforts are not always within your hands. This can be a difficult truth to accept, especially when you are invested in certain outcomes. But the Stoics taught that real strength comes from accepting this reality and detaching from the need to control everything. By letting go of the illusion of control, you free yourself from the constant anxiety and stress that comes from trying to manage the uncontrollable. Practicing detachment doesn't mean you stop caring about what happens in your life. It's about caring deeply, but without attachment to specific results. You continue to act with purpose, guided by virtue, but you release the need for things to turn out in a particular way. This shift in perspective is liberating because it allows you to put forth your best effort without being weighed down by the fear of failure or disappointment. You focus on what you can control, your actions, your thoughts, your responses, and let go of everything else. This creates a sense of peace and stability because you are no longer tied to outcomes that are outside your influence. Detachment also helps protect you from the influence of other people's opinions and judgments. In today's world, it's easy to get caught up in what others think of you, whether it's seeking approval from family, friends, or society. The desire to be liked or respected can lead you to compromise your values or stray from your path. Stoicism teaches that true freedom comes from detaching yourself from the need for external validation. When you let go of the need to be liked or approved of by others, you are free to act according to your principles rather than being swayed by the expectations of those around you. This doesn't mean you stop listening to others or refuse to take feedback. Detachment is about understanding that while you can value the opinions of those you trust, you are not defined by them. Your sense of self-worth comes from within, not from how others perceive you. This inner confidence allows you to remain grounded in who you are, even when others may not agree with your choices. By practicing detachment from external validation, you protect your peace of mind and ensure that your actions are aligned with your values, not the shifting expectations of others. Another important aspect of detachment is letting go of material attachments. The Stoics believed that wealth, possessions, and status were preferred indifferents, things that are neither inherently good nor bad, but often sought after at the expense of more important virtues. It's easy to get caught up in the pursuit of material success, thinking that more wealth or possessions will bring lasting happiness. But Stoicism teaches that true contentment comes from within, not from external things. By practicing detachment from material desires, you free yourself from the endless cycle of wanting more and instead focus on cultivating inner peace and fulfillment. This doesn't mean you have to give up all material things or live in poverty. Detachment is about recognizing that material things are temporary and not the source of true happiness. You can still enjoy the things you have, but you don't depend on them for your sense of well-being. By letting go of the need for more, you reduce the emotional burden that comes from constantly striving for external success. This creates a deeper sense of contentment, because you are no longer chasing after things that are outside your control. Detachment also plays a crucial role in how you handle relationships. Relationships are one of the most important aspects of life, but they can also be a source of pain and disappointment. The Stoics taught that while it's natural to care deeply for those you love, it's important to practice a certain level of detachment in relationships as well. This doesn't mean being distant or unemotional, but rather understanding that you cannot control other people's actions or feelings. By detaching from the need to control or fix others, you create healthier, more balanced relationships. When you let go of the need for others to behave a certain way or meet your expectations, you allow them the space to be themselves. This acceptance leads to more authentic connections because you are no longer trying to mold the relationship into what you think it should be. You focus on being present, offering love and support, but without the expectation that the other person must change or meet your specific needs. This practice of detachment strengthens your relationships because it reduces conflict and creates a deeper sense of respect and understanding. Another form of detachment that the Stoics emphasized is letting go of attachment to the past and future. It's easy to get caught up in regrets about the past or worries about the future, but these mental habits often weaken your resolve and create unnecessary suffering. The Stoics taught that the present moment is all you truly have, and by detaching from the past and future, you free yourself to fully engage with the now. Letting go of past regrets allows you to move forward without the weight of guilt or shame, while releasing future anxieties gives you the clarity to make decisions based on the present reality rather than imagined fears. This focus on the present moment doesn't mean ignoring the lessons of the past or failing to plan for the future. Instead, it's about recognizing that the past is unchangeable and the future is uncertain. By practicing detachment from both, you place your attention on what you can control, your actions and choices in the here and now. This shift creates a sense of freedom because you are no longer burdened by things outside your reach. You gain the clarity to act with intention, unencumbered by the distractions of what was or what might be. Detachment also allows you to face life's inevitable losses with greater strength. Whether it's the loss of a loved one, a job, or a cherished dream, loss is a part of life that no one can avoid. The Stoics understood that attachment to things that are impermanent only leads to greater suffering when those things are taken away. By practicing detachment, you prepare yourself for loss by accepting its inevitability. This doesn't mean you don't grieve or feel sadness, but rather that you are able to face loss with grace and resilience because you understand that nothing in life is guaranteed. The practice of detachment also extends to your own identity. We often become attached to certain ideas of who we are, our roles, our achievements, or our social status. But Stoicism teaches that these external identities are not the core of who you are. Your true self is defined by your character, your values, and how you choose to live each day. By detaching from rigid ideas of identity, you become more flexible and open to growth. You are no longer bound by the need to be seen a certain way or achieve certain milestones to prove your worth. This freedom allows you to evolve and adapt, becoming stronger and more resilient as life changes. At the heart of practicing detachment is the understanding that your peace of mind and inner strength are not dependent on external circumstances. Life will always present challenges, and things may not always go as planned. But by letting go of the need for control, validation, and attachment to specific outcomes, you create a sense of stability that cannot be shaken by external events. Detachment is not about caring less, it's about caring wisely. You invest your energy in what truly matters, your actions, your character, and your purpose, while releasing everything that distracts or weakens you. As you continue to practice detachment, you'll find that it brings a deeper sense of freedom and peace. You are no longer bound by the ups and downs of life, because your sense of self is rooted in something more enduring, your commitment to living with virtue and purpose. Detachment allows you to move through life with clarity and focus, knowing that no external influence has the power to define or control you. This practice builds resilience because it strengthens your ability to remain steady, no matter what life throws your way. Through detachment, you become unbreakable, not because you avoid life's challenges, but because you have learned to rise above them. Practicing detachment allows you to let go of the external influences that weigh you down, freeing you to face life with clarity and inner strength. But detachment is only part of the equation. The real test of Stoic philosophy comes when adversity strikes, when life throws challenges that shake you to your core. It's in these moments that Stoicism shines, showing you how to not just endure hardship, but to transform it into a source of strength. By embracing adversity, you discover a deeper well of resilience than you ever thought possible, turning trials into tools for growth and self-mastery. Life is filled with unexpected setbacks and moments of pain. No one is immune to loss, failure, or disappointment. But the difference between being broken by these events and being strengthened by them lies in how you choose to approach them. Stoicism teaches that adversity is not something to run from, but something to face head-on. Hardships are not obstacles to your progress. They are the very things that sharpen your character and deepen your resolve. Embracing adversity means seeing difficulties not as burdens, but as opportunities to build your inner fortitude. When hardship comes, the instinctive response is often to resist, to wish things were different, or to retreat into self-pity. But Stoicism encourages you to shift that mindset. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" the Stoic asks, "What can I learn from this?" This change in perspective is powerful because it reframes the challenge. No longer a passive victim of circumstances, you become an active participant in your own growth. You see adversity not as something to be feared, but as a crucible that forges strength, wisdom, and resilience. One of the key Stoic principles that helps transform hardship into strength is the belief that your suffering is shaped by your perception of it. External events, no matter how difficult, are neutral. It's your interpretation of these events that determines whether they crush you or lift you up. When you approach adversity with the mindset that it's an opportunity for growth, you immediately take control of the situation. You stop letting the hardship define you and instead use it as fuel for your own transformation. This is how Stoicism empowers you to turn life's most painful moments into sources of strength. Think about a time when you faced a significant challenge, a loss, a failure, or a moment of deep struggle. At the time, it may have felt overwhelming, as if there was no way forward. But looking back, perhaps you can see how that adversity shaped you into a stronger, wiser person. The pain, though difficult, taught you something valuable about yourself, about life, or about the world around you. This is the process Stoicism teaches you to embrace in every hardship. Each challenge, no matter how painful, has the potential to deepen your understanding and fortify your character if you are willing to engage with it fully. Adversity also has a way of revealing what truly matters. When things are easy, it's easy to get caught up in distractions, chasing after superficial goals, or getting lost in trivial concerns. But when hardship strikes, it forces you to re-evaluate your priorities. It strips away the noise and clarifies what is most important. Stoicism teaches that hardship can be a gift in this way. It helps you refocus on what is essential and let go of what is unnecessary. In the process, you become more aligned with your true purpose and values. Another crucial aspect of embracing adversity is the development of patience. Hardship rarely resolves itself quickly, and the path through difficulty is often long and uncertain. Stoicism teaches that patience is not just the ability to wait, but the ability to endure with grace and composure. It's about accepting that growth takes time, and that every step, no matter how small, brings you closer to greater strength. Patience allows you to stay grounded in the present moment, focusing on what you can do today rather than being overwhelmed by the enormity of the challenge ahead. This steady, patient approach to adversity builds resilience because it keeps you moving forward, even when progress feels slow. In embracing adversity, you also learn the value of persistence. When faced with hardship, it's tempting to give up, to believe that the struggle is too great or that the effort isn't worth it. But Stoicism teaches that the strength to persist, even in the face of seemingly insurmountable obstacles, is where true resilience is born. Every time you choose to keep going, even when it feels impossible, you reinforce your inner strength. Persistence is not about ignoring pain or pretending the struggle isn't real. It's about choosing to move forward despite the difficulty. Each act of persistence builds your capacity to endure and grow, no matter what life throws your way. One of the most transformative aspects of Stoicism is the idea that adversity is not something that happens to you, but something that happens for you. This doesn't mean that Stoics seek out hardship or believe that suffering is inherently good. Rather, they recognize that adversity is an inevitable part of life and that it can be used as a powerful tool for personal development. By embracing hardship as a necessary part of the journey, you free yourself from the fear of difficulty. You stop seeing challenges as threats and start viewing them as opportunities to become stronger, wiser, and more resilient. Adversity also teaches humility. When things go wrong, it's a reminder that we are not in control of everything, that life is unpredictable, and that even our best-laid plans can be undone by forces beyond our power. This can be a humbling experience, but it's also an important one. Stoicism teaches that humility in the face of adversity is essential for growth. It reminds you to let go of the illusion of control and to accept the limitations of your power. This humility allows you to approach challenges with a clearer mind, free from the frustration and anger that often come from trying to control the uncontrollable. Another lesson that adversity brings is the ability to find meaning in suffering. Stoicism doesn't sugarcoat the reality of hardship. Life can be painful, unfair, and difficult. But within that suffering, there is always the potential to find meaning. Whether it's through personal growth, deeper understanding, or the development of compassion, adversity has the power to teach you things that ease and comfort never could. By embracing hardship, you open yourself up to the lessons it has to offer. This doesn't mean you seek out suffering, but when it does come, you face it with the knowledge that it can serve a greater purpose. Adversity also strengthens your sense of self. When you face challenges, you are forced to confront who you are at your core, your values, your beliefs, and your inner strength. In moments of difficulty, the superficial layers of your identity are stripped away, revealing your true character. This is why adversity can be such a powerful teacher. It forces you to get to know yourself on a deeper level. As you face and overcome challenges, you gain confidence in your ability to handle whatever life brings. This self-assurance is not based on external achievements or the absence of struggle, but on the knowledge that you have the inner strength to endure and grow through anything. Adversity also deepens your empathy. When you experience hardship, you develop a greater understanding of the struggles that others face. This empathy makes you more compassionate, more patient, and more connected to those around you. Stoicism teaches that we are all part of a larger community, and that our experiences of hardship can help us connect with others in meaningful ways. By embracing your own adversity, you become better equipped to support others in their struggles. This sense of shared humanity strengthens your relationships and creates a sense of solidarity that enriches your life. Another powerful aspect of embracing adversity is the development of gratitude. It may seem counterintuitive to associate hardship with gratitude, but Stoicism teaches that even in the midst of difficulty, there are always things to be thankful for. Adversity can help you appreciate the small, often overlooked aspects of life, whether it's the support of loved ones, the lessons you've learned, or the simple fact that you've made it through another day. Gratitude doesn't erase the pain of hardship, but it provides a balance that helps you stay grounded in the midst of struggle. By focusing on what remains, rather than what has been lost, you strengthen your ability to endure adversity with grace. In embracing adversity, you also develop flexibility. Life rarely goes according to plan, and rigid thinking can make hardship even more difficult to bear. Stoicism teaches that flexibility, both in thought and action, is essential for navigating life's challenges. When you approach adversity with an open mind and a willingness to adapt, you become more resilient because you are no longer attached to a specific outcome. Flexibility allows you to pivot when necessary, to find new solutions, and to remain calm in the face of uncertainty. This adaptability is a key part of transforming hardship into strength because it keeps you from getting stuck in frustration or despair when things don't go as expected. Finally, adversity builds a deep sense of purpose. When you face challenges and come out the other side, you gain a stronger sense of what you are capable of and what truly matters to you. Each hardship you overcome adds to your sense of purpose, reinforcing the belief that you are on a path of growth and self-discovery. This sense of purpose is what allows you to keep moving forward, even when the road is difficult. It gives you the strength to face future challenges with confidence, knowing that each adversity is an opportunity to deepen your resilience and live a life of greater meaning and integrity. As you continue to embrace adversity through the lens of Stoicism, you'll find that hardship no longer feels like an enemy. Instead, it becomes a powerful teacher, guiding you toward a deeper understanding of yourself and the world around you. Adversity transforms you, not by breaking you down, but by building you up into a person of greater strength, wisdom, and compassion. Through this process, you learn that the challenges you face are not roadblocks, but stepping stones on the path to becoming unbreakable. Embracing adversity reveals your true strength, but it's self-discipline that transforms that strength into something lasting. Through discipline, you take the lessons learned from hardship and turn them into daily habits that fortify your mind and spirit. In Stoicism, discipline is not just a tool for success. It's the very foundation that supports a resilient life. It's through the quiet, consistent practice of self-discipline that you create a fortress of inner strength, one that allows you to face any challenge with calm and clarity. Discipline, when embraced fully, becomes a path to freedom, as it gives you control over yourself and your actions, no matter what happens around you. Self-discipline isn't glamorous. It doesn't happen overnight, nor does it come with immediate rewards. But over time, the consistent application of discipline shapes your character in profound ways. In Stoicism, self-discipline is about mastering your desires, your impulses, and your mind. It's about training yourself to act according to your values, not according to momentary whims or emotional reactions. Discipline creates a sense of steadiness, a strength that doesn't waver when external circumstances become challenging. One of the most powerful aspects of self-discipline is that it gives you control over your responses. When you develop the habit of discipline, you no longer act on impulse or emotion. Instead, you train yourself to pause, reflect, and choose the most virtuous course of action. This practice of deliberate choice is what creates resilience in the face of adversity. You are no longer swayed by external pressures or the heat of the moment. Instead, you are anchored by your own discipline, knowing that you can control your actions even when everything else feels out of control. Discipline is not about perfection, it's about progress, about committing to small, consistent actions that build strength over time. Stoicism teaches that daily habits, no matter how small, have a cumulative effect. Each act of discipline, whether it's sticking to a routine, controlling your temper, or making a difficult but necessary decision, strengthens your mind and spirit. Over time, these small acts of discipline create a foundation of inner strength that becomes unshakable. You become more resilient because you've trained yourself to act with intention, rather than being reactive or passive in the face of difficulty. Another key aspect of self-discipline is the ability to focus on what truly matters. In a world filled with distractions and temptations, it's easy to lose sight of your goals and values. Self-discipline helps you cut through the noise and focus on what is essential. It teaches you to say no to the things that pull you away from your purpose and to prioritize what aligns with your highest values. This clarity of focus not only strengthens your resolve, but also frees you from the constant pull of external demands. By practicing discipline, you create space for what matters most, allowing you to live with greater intention and purpose. Self-discipline also helps you manage your emotions. Stoicism teaches that while emotions are natural, they should not be the driving force behind your actions. By cultivating discipline, you learn to observe your emotions without being controlled by them. When anger, frustration, or fear arise, discipline allows you to pause and respond thoughtfully rather than reacting impulsively. This emotional control is one of the greatest strengths of self-discipline. It creates a sense of inner calm, even in the midst of emotional turbulence, because you know that your actions are guided by your values, not by fleeting feelings. In the Stoic tradition, self-discipline is also closely tied to the concept of moderation. Discipline helps you avoid excess, whether it's in your desires, your habits, or your consumption. It teaches you to find balance in all areas of life, to avoid overindulgence in pleasures, and to resist the pull of unhealthy habits. By practicing moderation, you strengthen your ability to make choices that are aligned with long-term well-being rather than seeking short-term gratification. This sense of balance creates stability in your life, helping you avoid the emotional and physical exhaustion that comes from living without boundaries. Self-discipline is also deeply connected to the idea of personal responsibility. Stoicism teaches that you are responsible for your actions, regardless of the circumstances. Discipline empowers you to take ownership of your choices, rather than blaming others or external factors. This sense of responsibility strengthens your character because it removes excuses and places the power of your life firmly in your hands. When you commit to discipline, you are no longer a passive participant in your life. You actively shape your path, one decision at a time. Another important aspect of self-discipline is perseverance. Discipline teaches you to keep going, even when the road is difficult or progress is slow. In moments of challenge, it's easy to give up or lose motivation, but discipline keeps you moving forward. It reminds you that true growth takes time and that each small effort builds towards something greater. This perseverance strengthens your resilience because it teaches you to see challenges not as reasons to quit, but as opportunities to grow. Discipline gives you the endurance to face long-term difficulties with patience and determination. One of the most profound effects of self-discipline is the sense of freedom it creates. While discipline may seem restrictive at first, requiring you to give up certain habits or comforts, in reality, it brings a deeper sense of liberation. When you have control over yourself, you are no longer controlled by external forces or internal impulses. You are free to act in alignment with your values and purpose, without being pulled in 100 different directions by distractions, desires, or societal pressures. This inner freedom creates a profound sense of peace, as you no longer feel enslaved to circumstances beyond your control. Discipline also cultivates humility. In practicing discipline, you recognize that you are not perfect, that you will fail, and that growth is a lifelong journey. This humility allows you to approach discipline not as a rigid standard to be met, but as a practice that strengthens over time. Each day offers new opportunities to practice discipline, and each failure is a chance to learn and improve. This mindset of continuous growth strengthens your resilience because it removes the pressure to be perfect and instead focuses on steady, incremental progress. Self-discipline also strengthens your relationships. When you are disciplined in your interactions with others, you build trust and respect. Discipline teaches you to listen more carefully, to speak with intention, and to act with integrity in your relationships. This creates deeper, more meaningful connections because people know they can rely on you to act with consistency and purpose. Discipline in relationships also means setting boundaries and respecting the boundaries of others. By practicing discipline in how you interact with those around you, you create stronger, healthier relationships based on mutual respect and understanding. In practicing discipline, you also develop the ability to delay gratification. Stoicism teaches that true happiness comes not from immediate pleasures, but from living a life aligned with your values and purpose. Discipline helps you resist the temptation to seek short-term rewards at the expense of long-term well-being. By delaying gratification, you strengthen your ability to focus on what truly matters and avoid the distractions that pull you away from your goals. This practice of patience and delayed gratification creates a sense of inner strength, as you are no longer swayed by fleeting desires, but instead guided by your deeper purpose. Another key benefit of self-discipline is the development of mental toughness. Discipline trains your mind to stay focused and resilient, even in the face of adversity. When challenges arise, discipline helps you remain calm and clear-headed, allowing you to approach problems with a sense of determination rather than defeat. This mental toughness is essential for navigating life's difficulties, as it keeps you grounded and focused on solutions rather than being overwhelmed by obstacles. By practicing discipline, you build a mind that is strong, flexible, and capable of handling whatever life throws your way. Self-discipline also helps you develop a deeper sense of self-awareness. As you practice discipline, you become more attuned to your thoughts, habits, and behaviors. This awareness allows you to identify areas where you may need to improve or where certain habits are no longer serving you. Discipline gives you the tools to make intentional changes in your life, creating habits that support your growth and well-being. This self-awareness strengthens your resilience because it helps you stay aligned with your values and purpose, even as life changes. Another important aspect of self-discipline is the ability to stay consistent, even when motivation wanes. Motivation is often fleeting. It comes and goes based on external circumstances or internal moods. But discipline is what keeps you moving forward when motivation fades. It's the practice of showing up each day, doing the work, and making progress, regardless of how you feel in the moment. This consistency creates a sense of stability and trust in yourself because you know that you can rely on your own discipline to keep you on track. Over time, this consistency strengthens your resilience as you build a habit of perseverance that carries you through even the most difficult times. Discipline also cultivates gratitude. When you practice discipline, you learn to appreciate the small victories and progress that come from consistent effort. You begin to value the process of growth rather than just the outcome. This sense of gratitude for the journey strengthens your ability to remain resilient because it shifts your focus away from frustration or impatience and toward appreciation for the progress you are making. Discipline teaches you to celebrate the small steps along the way, reinforcing your commitment to your goals and deepening your sense of fulfillment. In practicing self-discipline, you also learn the value of structure and routine. Stoicism teaches that a disciplined life is one that is organized and intentional. By creating routines that support your well-being, you build a sense of stability and order in your life. These routines, whether they involve daily exercise, mindfulness practices, or time for reflection, create a foundation that helps you navigate life's uncertainties with greater ease. Structure and routine strengthen your resilience because they provide a consistent framework that supports your mental and physical health, even in times of chaos or stress. Ultimately, self-discipline is about building a life that is aligned with your values, purpose, and highest potential. It's not about perfection or rigid control, but about creating habits that support your growth and resilience. Through discipline, you create a fortress of inner strength that allows you to face any challenge with clarity, purpose, and calm. Discipline empowers you to live with intention, to act according to your values, and to remain steady in the face of adversity. As you continue to practice discipline, you fortify your mind and spirit, becoming more resilient, more focused, and more capable of handling whatever life brings your way. This practice of self-discipline is what truly makes you unbreakable. It's the quiet, consistent effort that builds lasting strength, one decision at a time. Through discipline, you not only survive life's challenges, you thrive, growing stronger with each step forward. And as you cultivate this discipline, you create a life that is rich with purpose, resilience, and inner peace, no matter what external circumstances may arise. After establishing self-discipline as the foundation of inner strength, the next step is finding peace through acceptance. Acceptance of life, of circumstances, and most importantly, of fate. Stoicism teaches that true peace is not found in controlling the world around you, but in accepting what cannot be changed. This acceptance isn't about giving up or passivity. Instead, it's an active embrace of reality as it is. Through this practice, you free yourself from the endless struggle to control the uncontrollable and instead find strength and resolve in facing life exactly as it comes. Acceptance of fate transforms challenges from burdens into opportunities for growth and fosters a deep, unshakable peace. In the pursuit of peace, one of the greatest challenges people face is the desire to control outcomes. We often want life to unfold in a specific way, whether it's success in our careers, relationships going smoothly, or avoiding hardship altogether. Yet, despite all efforts, life doesn't always align with our plans. The Stoics understood this deeply, which is why they taught that much of our suffering comes not from external events themselves, but from our resistance to those events. When we struggle against reality, we create tension, frustration, and disappointment. The antidote to this suffering, according to Stoicism, is acceptance, specifically the acceptance of fate, known as amor fati, or the love of fate. To embrace fate means to recognize that life is full of things outside your control. From the weather to other people's actions, to random occurrences that disrupt your plans, much of what happens is beyond your influence. Fighting these realities only adds stress and emotional turmoil to the situation. But when you accept that these external events are a natural part of life, you stop wasting energy on trying to change the unchangeable. This shift in focus allows you to direct your attention to what truly matters: your own actions, thoughts, and reactions. You find peace not because life becomes easier, but because you've stopped battling what's beyond your control. One of the most profound lessons in Stoic acceptance is the understanding that everything in life is impermanent. Nothing lasts forever, not success, not failure, not happiness, and not pain. When you accept this truth, you release the attachment to specific outcomes and learn to flow with life's changes. This acceptance doesn't make loss or difficulty any less painful, but it does make them more bearable because you recognize that they are a natural part of the human experience. In accepting the impermanence of life, you find a deep sense of peace because you are no longer clinging to the past or fearing the future. You live fully in the present, knowing that whatever comes, you have the strength to endure it. Acceptance of fate also strengthens your resolve by teaching you to embrace hardship as part of your journey. Stoicism doesn't promise a life free of difficulty, but it does offer a way to find meaning and strength through challenges. When you accept that adversity is inevitable, you stop viewing it as something to be feared or avoided. Instead, you approach it with a sense of openness, understanding that each hardship is an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. This acceptance doesn't mean passivity. It means facing challenges with courage and determination, knowing that while you cannot control what happens, you can control how you respond. There's a certain freedom that comes with accepting fate. When you no longer feel the need to control every aspect of life, you let go of the constant anxiety and stress that come with trying to predict or prevent difficulties. This doesn't mean you stop caring or stop trying. Rather, it means you focus on what is within your power and let go of the rest. The Stoics were masters at finding peace in the chaos of life by focusing solely on what they could control, their own minds and actions. By practicing this same level of acceptance, you cultivate an inner calm that is not easily shaken by external events. This acceptance also allows you to let go of regret and guilt over the past. Stoicism teaches that dwelling on what has already happened is a futile exercise, as the past is beyond your control. When you accept this reality, you free yourself from the emotional weight of past mistakes or missed opportunities. Instead of being trapped by regret, you learn from the past and move forward with clarity and purpose. This acceptance of what has been done strengthens your resolve because it removes the distractions of what if and if only, and keeps you grounded in the present moment. In a similar way, accepting fate helps you release the fear of the future. Much of our anxiety comes from worrying about what might happen or trying to control future outcomes. But the Stoics remind us that the future is as uncontrollable as the past. By accepting that the future will unfold as it will, and that your role is to focus on the present moment, you free yourself from the mental strain of trying to predict or prevent every possible negative outcome. This shift in focus allows you to channel your energy into what you can control, your actions in the here and now. As a result, you strengthen your resolve by staying anchored in the present, rather than being pulled into the uncertainty of the future. One of the most important aspects of Stoic acceptance is understanding that life, in all its unpredictability, is exactly as it should be. The Stoics believed that everything happens according to nature, and that each event, no matter how challenging, plays a role in the larger order of the universe. This belief doesn't negate the pain or difficulty of hardship, but it does offer a perspective that brings peace. When you accept that life's events are part of a greater whole, you stop resisting them and instead learn to work with them. This sense of trust in the natural order of things strengthens your resolve because it gives you a deeper understanding of your place in the world and the flow of life. Another way that Stoic acceptance strengthens your resolve is by teaching you to focus on the process rather than the outcome. In life, we often become fixated on achieving specific goals or reaching certain milestones. While setting goals is important, the Stoics remind us that the outcome is often beyond our control. What matters more is how we approach the journey, how we conduct ourselves, the effort we put in, and the values we uphold along the way. When you shift your focus from the outcome to the process, you free yourself from the pressure of achieving specific results and instead find fulfillment in the daily practice of living according to your values. This mindset not only reduces stress, but also strengthens your resolve by keeping you focused on what truly matters, your actions, not the outcome. Acceptance of fate also cultivates resilience by teaching you to embrace uncertainty. Life is unpredictable, and no matter how carefully you plan, there will always be unforeseen challenges and changes. Stoicism teaches that the ability to accept uncertainty is a key component of inner strength. When you stop fighting against the unknown and instead embrace it as a natural part of life, you build resilience. You become adaptable, flexible, and capable of handling whatever comes your way. This acceptance of uncertainty doesn't mean you stop planning or preparing. It means you do so with the understanding that plans may change, and that's okay. This flexibility allows you to face life's unpredictability with grace and calm, knowing that you have the strength to navigate any challenge. One of the most powerful aspects of Stoic acceptance is that it teaches you to let go of the need for approval or validation from others. So much of our anxiety and frustration comes from trying to meet the expectations of others or seeking their approval. But Stoicism reminds us that other people's opinions and actions are outside of our control. When you accept that you cannot control how others see you or what they think of you, you free yourself from the emotional burden of trying to live up to external standards. This acceptance strengthens your resolve by allowing you to focus on living according to your own values rather than being swayed by the shifting opinions of others. Another important element of Stoic acceptance is learning to let go of attachment to specific outcomes. Whether it's a job promotion, a relationship, or a personal goal, we often become attached to achieving specific results. When things don't go as planned, this attachment can lead to disappointment, frustration, and even despair. But Stoicism teaches that true peace comes from detaching from the outcome and focusing instead on the effort you put into the process. By accepting that the outcome is beyond your control, you free yourself from the emotional roller coaster of success and failure. This detachment strengthens your resolve because it keeps you grounded in what truly matters: your actions, your integrity, and your character. Finding peace in acceptance also involves embracing the limitations of your own power. As much as we might want to, we cannot control everything that happens in life. There will be times when, despite our best efforts, things go wrong. The Stoics teach that acceptance of these limitations is essential for finding peace. When you accept that there are forces beyond your control, you stop feeling overwhelmed by the weight of trying to manage everything. Instead, you focus on what is within your power and let go of the rest. This acceptance not only brings peace, but also strengthens your resolve by allowing you to conserve your energy for the things that truly matter. In the end, Stoic acceptance of fate is not about resignation or defeat. It's about finding strength in the face of life's challenges by embracing reality as it is, not as we wish it to be. Through this acceptance, you cultivate a sense of peace that is unshakable, even in the face of adversity. You learn to navigate life's ups and downs with grace, knowing that while you cannot control what happens, you can always control how you respond. This mindset strengthens your resolve because it gives you the confidence to face whatever comes your way, knowing that you have the inner resources to handle it. Through acceptance, you find a deeper sense of purpose, clarity, and peace, one that cannot be taken away by external circumstances. As you walk the path of Stoicism, remember that your strength is not determined by what happens to you, but by how you respond. Building unshakable resilience, mastering emotional control, and seeing life through the power of perspective are all within your reach. By focusing on virtue, detaching from what weakens you, and embracing adversity, you fortify your spirit. Through the daily practice of self-discipline and finding peace in accepting fate, you become unbreakable, not because life gets easier, but because you rise above the challenges it throws your way. Now that you've taken these powerful Stoic principles to heart, I encourage you to share your thoughts in the comments. What challenges are you facing right now that Stoicism could help you overcome? Let's continue the conversation and grow stronger together. If this resonated with you and you're ready to take your journey even further, make sure to subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you don't miss out on future insights that will help you build a resilient and unbreakable mindset. Stay strong and remember, nothing can break you.